Alright, hi guys. Guys, and welcome to my new channel. No love, hate. Hate or hate love, whichever one it is, but this is the new and revised story of the Guardian of Hate. Hate, otherwise known as Deimos. Also, you're going to be seeing the more accurate depiction of his story. He's starting from his childhood, and in which he is 9 years old, well, at current, and he has his secondly 4 younger siblings. Back current, he only has 3. Joseph, Richard, and Cupid. In this part where that little comma is, it's supposed to say they died, then comma. Essentially, his parents grew apart because one was grieving, and the other was too busy blaming himself. So after this, their mother focused on Cupid, did more so than she did on Deimos. And Rodrigo focused much more on Deimos than he did Cupid. Essentially, they went and took care of the child they valued the most. She was leaning towards her youngest, and he was leaning towards his oldest. Essentially, the one that would take the throne. Deimos was a very lonely child as a kid. He only had one close friend, and Atreus, who is shown here in this scene. Essentially, an incident happened where Cupid and Atreus playing near the cliffs, and Cupid accidentally pushed Atreus from where Deimos was standing, and he shoved him on purpose and got Atreus killed by a 100-foot drop. It killed him on impact. So the scene that you are seeing are literally Atreus' last moments, and Cupid's regret. Yeah, but this is not how Deimos sees it at all. In his eyes, it was entirely Cupid's fault. He had lost so much in 1 year, Aaron was looking for someone to blame. Now, unfortunately, Cupid took front and center when he accidentally got Atreus killed. From that point on, Deimos' heart was flooded with hate. Hate for the brother that he had once cherished like the other two. When he sought only out revenge. And just as you are seeing in the living statues, was otherwise known as the keepers of the orbs of life, of love and hate. Essentially, after the orb's wielder dies, this is where they come back to. So his parents kept the room locked out of fear that something might come across. That's the orb of hate and become bonded to it. Like Deimos' ancestors. Which is why Rodrigo kept an especially close eye on his grieving child. Because he did not want his son to become a monster. Or because in their people's eyes, the orb of hate was pure evil and nothing more. Or in the orb of love, well, both held their powers, whereas it wasn't considered evil, but he still didn't want his child or children anywhere near them because of what they'd become. Now, they are living in a realm outside of the human realm, that allows them to connect to several different AUs. It's basically they're living in their own realms. So in the realm, and the orbs have their own realms known as love and hate. Hold on just a moment. Rodrigo in this scene is trying to protect Deimos, who is from what he deems to be evil. Well, because if they become the guardians of love and hate, there's a good chance that he will never see them again. And because they will have to go to their own realms. His father told him the history of them, and that the orb that he is walking towards was pure evil. Oh, but Deimos chose not to believe him on that matter, or because he was too busy grieving and hating his brother. At the end of his father's life, if his father was dying of cancer at this point, his mother and father decided to have one last child. And the baby boy that would become Deimos' entire world, David. It's because his mother had died during childbirth, and David resembled ancestors from their bloodline. And Deimos held him in great regard, seeing him as the only family that he had left. Deimos' mention of the baby looking like his uncle, was because, as it is a hereditary gene, that passes down for their generations, and then his father so happened to carry the gene. That is around the time that his father died. He was crowned king and given access to this room. And so he made the decision to take his younger brother, while Cupid was sleeping, and entered the room. Simultaneously becoming the guardian of hate, and taking the living statue and David along with it. This story will continue, but for now, this is all you will be receiving. Bye, guys.